Hey everyone, so I'm just sitting down to have a lunch, and I thought I should do a video of my lunch and explain all that I do to prep it. So, you've heard me talk about the reason why I started this whole cooking with Bert was not only to share my love of cooking and doing all these different things, but also to share and get a little personal with um, my health journey, my weight loss journey. And so, I apologize. I'm going to snack while I'm talking because I'm really hungry. One of the things I looked at was Vegan Before Six by Mark Bittman. And I still like the concept, the idea. I think it makes absolute sense because, it's not about our body needs protein and carbs and fat and salt and all these different grains and dairy. It needs these things. It needs them in the right proportions. And I think that's where we get tripped up about with some of these diets when we do okay, cut out all carbs or cut out all red meat or cut out all this or that, is that you end up then starving your body of that item. And so if you ever do decide to introduce it back a little bit, your body is going to glob onto it and be like, oh my God, I haven't had this in forever. I must store it away as fat. So I could be completely wrong about that, but that's the way I feel. So it makes sense that if you really want to lose weight and keep it off, changing a behavior is the first and foremost. Yes, you need to change a little bit of what you eat, but it's more about how you eat and figuring out why you're eating at those times or that much or that little or whatever. With I'm a marketer. I understand that we marketers like to try tactics and tricks to get you to buy things or eat things you don't need. So, I know that is a issue, and that's has trained our bodies to want things that really it should never have had. So, Vegan Before Six is more of an approach, from what I've read so far, of changing your behaviors and realizing that what's in this meal, that's maybe a hamburger and whatever, versus this big bowl of cereal with sugar, could potentially have the same amount of calories. They're just different types of calories. They're more dense, or so that can be kind of a problem. So being aware of the macronutrients, I guess, of your food. So Noom, I've been seeing a lot of ads for Noom, and I thought I would try it. I thought, why not? It's a 14-day free trial. Why don't I, give it a shot? Or I think I paid $1 for the trial. And I was like, why don't I give it a shot and let's see what happens. And I'm going into my third week now, and I am down 10 pounds in just 2 weeks. Granted, I know I'm not going to continue to be losing 10 pounds in 2 weeks, and that's a little fast. And I know it's not from changing what I'm eating necessarily, it's just being more mindful. It's changing my behaviors. I'm not overloading at dinner. I'm not skipping breakfast, forgetting about lunch, and then loading up on dinner. And then crashing and then getting hungry at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I know there's lots of different things, and it's Noom walks you through each day different behaviors, different psychological tricks that we've picked up over time, and getting you more aware of what you're eating, when you're eating, how you're eating, why you're eating. As they say, I think it's psychology, sociology, and science or something like that. It's not just about what you eat, it's when you're eating, how you're eating it, putting it in your body, all that. So I thought with my lunch I would show you the healthy lunch. And Noom kind of breaks down your foods into colors. So there's green, yellow, red. And they're not necessarily meaning red is bad, you shouldn't eat it. It's just, whoa, stop. Think about this. Green is, oh, this is good. You're good to go. Go ahead, eat it away. Yellow is, you might want to think about this. But definitely a red food would be like, hold the brakes. You need to look both ways before you decide to proceed. So I think that's very, as me as a creative individual and a graphic designer, I'm very visual. And so having that visual, oh, this is green food, oh, this is yellow, this is red, perfect. It's three, it's not so many, it's not, oh, this is a this food group or this is no, it's just three simple things, yellow, green, yellow, red. Yes, maybe, hold up. So that's been helpful. I think their app could use some work. It's kind of annoying when I want to check out like where a food is on that kind of color scale. Um, that I have to like enter it, and then when I go to back out, it completely kicks me out of the log, and I have to go back in. Not out of the app, just the log part of it, and then I have to go back in and adjust. So it would be nice to be able to have a back button to like delete some of those things out, where I could kind of play with the budget and see. So basically, it gives you a budget for the day, how many calories you're going to have. It breaks down those green, yellows, reds in how many calories roughly you should have of those a day. And then as you track them, it lets you know how many you have left, which is wonderful. So that's been really helpful to see. I had noticed that I was loading up on a lot of reds, not any greens, very little yellows. And that I was, and then when I would adjust for, I'm going to try to eat better of those and start eating a breakfast or even a lunch or a snack, it also showed me that my issue was I was not taking into consideration what I was making for dinner. And so if I was going to make something that was red meat or something that had more red food items in it, I knew I wasn't paying attention to that. So I was blowing through my reds earlier in the day. Then come dinner and be like, literally all I get to eat are green food items, which are usually, typically vegetables and fruits and things. And it was kind of like, I want that dinner that I made. So it made me really stop and pay attention now to, okay, this is what we're having for dinner. So tonight we're having egg roll in a bowl or in a skillet. It's just an open-faced egg roll. There's no wrap. It's just all in the skillet. So I'm going to punch that recipe in. Like, I know I'm good for, my breakfast was very light. It was literally a light Greek yogurt with a little bit of frozen strawberry slices. That was perfect. Very, very small amount of calories. This I know I'm good with. It doesn't have very any red, so I know I've got plenty of room for that, but I'm going to double check it. So I'm going to put that recipe in my Noom app, see where it sits, and that way then I know if from lunch until then I get a little hangry, I know what kind of a snack I'll be able to have if I've budgeted enough. So it's helped me to know that I need to pay attention to my whole day and kind of plan as I go. Like, okay, I know I'm having egg roll later, so I need to focus more on this type of food. So I think that's been really helpful. So if you've been struggling with different types of diets, I've tried Slimgenics, I've tried keto for a little bit, I've tried some of these other things. The Richard Simmons Deal a Meal. Does anybody remember that? My mom and I had that. I've tried some of these different things, and I struggle with motivation for one. Exercise, hate it, refuse to do it, and I love food, and I love to eat, and I do not want limits put on what I can put in my mouth because food is wonderful. It is one of the gifts God has given us, and I'm going to enjoy that gift immensely. So, yes, I love to eat. I don't want to be limited by, okay, you can't have this, you can't have cake, you can't have salad dressing, you can't have, no, 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 no. I needed something that would allow me to have what I want to have. Just controlling how I'm eating it, the portions I'm eating it, all that stuff. So if you've struggled, I would say give Noom a shot. Stick with it through the trial. They only release things each day. You get a little bit more of information because they don't want to overload you and be like, and then you quit. That's not the point. The other thing to keep in mind is they do have a recipe section. So when you're going through your day, if you're like, I want a snack, but I don't know what I want, what can I have? Or a late night snack, especially, because that's where I usually fall into the trap. Because after dinner, I'm like, I'm just a little hungry. I just need a little something. And so I'll go to look at what they say is within my budget. And it'll show you the item. And it'll say within your budget, whatever. And it'll say it's within my budget. But it technically is not. Because, yes, it's within my overall calorie budget. Like, I've got room for that. But if you break it then down to the green, yellow, and red foods, like I'll have blown through my reds and maybe gone a little over. And this item that they're saying is within my budget, if I go to look at its nutritional facts, it'll say it's like 92% a red item. Then that does not fit in my red budget. It is not fitting at all. So you really do have to pay attention to that. I'm not sure how I feel about the coaches yet. I've got the goal specialist who only checks in once a week. Getting responses back have been a little spotty. Like, I'm supposed to get check-ins on Thursday, but then I won't hear back until like Saturday, Sunday. So, we'll see how that goes. The group one you get in your third week, I just got my group, and they seem very active, so that's good. I don't know how much I'll participate in that because I'm not a share, and it's all women, and I'm like the only guy, so that's a little weird, but I might as well show you what I'm having for lunch today. So, and I'm going to show a video of me going through and kind of sort of prepping it. I had already started to prep it, but I'm like, hey, I should show people this. So I've got 2 pitas that are packed full of lettuce, tomato, turkey, a little bit of mayo, and 2 pickles. And then I have this wonderful salad that has romaine, some mushrooms underneath there, some cucumbers, a little sprinkling of cheddar cheese, some grape tomatoes, and then a little bit of my favorite dressing. So that's my lunch. I think all told, I'll try to remember what the calorie count is in here, and I'll post that in there. I'll put a little pop-up or something. But yeah, so this is what I'm having for lunch, and it's gonna fill me up. I'm gonna feel full for a while, until dinner. But knowing that I can always have a little afternoon snack if I need to, it's good. So enjoy. I hope this helps you guys. And if you have any questions for me, you can always ask. But definitely, if you've been struggling with weight loss or not even weight loss, but finding ways to eat better, then it's probably wouldn't hurt to give Noom a shot and see how it goes. If anything, even if you don't use the coaching part, even if you don't use the recipes part, that log alone, even with its flaws, has been so eye-opening to me to realize where I'm overeating, in what kinds of food I'm overeating, and not planning well enough to where at the end of the day I'm super hungry and I've already blown through my budget. So it's helped me to visually see that, I need to space this stuff out. So enjoy, and I hope this really helps you. Okay, I know this isn't the best angle to show all of this, so I'll try to hold things up as I show them, but I'm preparing my lunch, and I'm trying to keep it more, for those that are using Noom, I'm trying to keep it more yellow and green centric. I do have a couple of reds, but I'm using them sparingly. So what I have is I've got my 2 pitas, whole wheat pitas, a couple pickles, and then inside I have just a little smattering of mayo. I've learned that I don't need a lot, actually, because I love BLT so much, and I like to keep, back in the day, I love to have as many BLTs as possible. I learned to ration my BLTs, so just enough mayo, just enough bacon, just enough tomato and lettuce to get the BLT flavor, and then I can make like 28 sandwiches. See, way overboard. But I've learned from that I don't need a whole lot of mayo. I just need a thin, a little bit in there just to get that little bit of taste, and I'm fine. So I've got a little bit of mayo in there. I've got in each one 2 slices of roasted turkey breast in each one, 2 slices of tomato, and then a little bit of lettuce. So that's my sandwich part. For my salad, I've got a bunch of romaine, I've got some mushrooms, and some some cucumber, and then just a little sprinkling of cheese. And then I am going to put on it my favorite turkey lynch, but I'm only going to put a little drizzle, just enough for a taste. I know people say that Noom says, try substituting and just putting some olive oil, but just olive oil on its own just does not sound appealing to me. So that is my lunch for today, and I'll try to put in what the calories are. But I wanted to show, I think the challenge I know I face, and probably a lot of others, is if it's going to feel like a lot of work, then I'm not going to want to do it, and I'm just going to want to grab it and go. But if you, with my cooking show here, if you follow some of my prep stuff and my meal planning, I've learned tricks and ways to make it easier. So prepping is key. So I'm going to show you a couple of different things. that I do for, oh, I forgot on my salad, sorry. We're going to put some baby tomatoes as well. There, I got some baby tomatoes. Okay, so one of the things I want to show you is, let's do the salad first. So I have from Tupperware, and there's other companies that make these, but I love Tupperwares. These are their Fridge Smarts, and I love that it tells me what things I can put in here and on what humidity, temperature I need to put it on. So in this one, I have cucumbers. Now what I do is I don't just throw the cucumbers in here, I prep them. So they are already peeled, already sliced up or chopped up in slices, and I've got more I have to do. And then I just put them in here, and they're ready to go. Literally, I could open it, grab a handful, throw them on my salad, or even put them in my pita, and I'm good to go. Same thing with the lettuce. I've got the lettuce one, and then what I do with the romaine, I get bags of, like a big bag thing that's like 6 hearts from like Sam's Club, and I just tear it up by hand and throw it in there. 1 or 2 of them at a time. Then that's ready to go. So I've got those. The mushrooms, I do, depending, because sometimes I like to cook with them, so I leave some whole, some sliced. Now, a lot of people use an egg slicer, and it takes a long time, and the things gotta bend, and they don't always cut all the way through. I found something. Pampered Chef, I don't know if they still have it, but they had this vegetable chopper, and it's got really big, thick blades, and it could do cucumber, it could do my cucumber, it can do some other vegetables, but I use it for mushrooms because you can take and put quite a few on there at once, and I've talked about this thing before. So you can put 5, 6, 7 on there, chop them, and then just dump them in where you need to. So I love that. So that's a tip. So then I just put my lid on that one, and then it tells me which one I need. So mushrooms are on this side. So they go in the middle. They are a circle one. So those are done. Tomatoes technically aren't supposed to go in the fridge. I like them cold, and so I do put them in one of these, even though it says not to, and I just use it anyways. Then, if you're grown up in my era, you know what one of these are. I don't like very wet pickles because they get drippy. They fill up some juice on your plate. Your other things get soggy. So I like having the pickle deli. And I just put some in here, and then I can pull them up, give it a shake, get as much liquid off, and then they're good to go. I need to fill that up, as you can see. Again, the reason I have this instead of just a jar, not only the mess, I buy a 5-gallon tank of them from Sam's Club, so then I can just put as many in here as I need at a time. They're good to go. This is from Tupperware, and this has been my favorite purchase, I think, from them in a while. It's like a sandwich station. I don't remember the actual name of it, but I love that it all snaps together with a lid. So, bottom is my pitas. Okay, then that snaps on. Middle is my turkey breasts. And then the top, again, not technically supposed to be in the fridge, but it works. With this little tray to keep them up out of juice is my tomatoes. Sometimes I'll put pickles in here. Before I had the pickle deli thing, I would put pickles up here if I didn't have anything. Or you take that out, you could put cheese in here. But what I love about this is when I am ready for lunch, if I'm just having pitas, I just pull this out of the fridge, the mayo, I'm ready to go. Everything I need to make a sandwich is pretty much in here other than the lettuce. That's it. Having something like this that's just stocked and ready at all times, perfect. Late night snack when I'm kind of after dinner, but I'm still a little hungry. I know I'm hungry, and I have some calories in my budget, and I know it's mainly going to have to be a green or a yellow because I've already blown through the reds. I know I can have a pita. Then I just pull this out. So, those are my handy things. So you can't quite see this, but basically, just these containers are all I pull out, and it only takes me a minute. It may seem like an awful lot, but it's really not. It takes me just a few minutes. And then prepping these, again, I think I prepped all this stuff one afternoon. It was like 20, 30, maybe 45 minutes to just quickly throw everything in here. So easy to keep stocked, ready to go when I want a lunch. And then, look at that. A nice, filling lunch that is not going to cost me a ton of calories.